If you started working on your capital raise, most probably you've heard you need to ask for an intro. So who should you go after and how you should ask for an intro will be answered in this episode. Hi, my name is Anastasia Rivado and this is Get Funded Show. So on this channel, we talk a lot about building relations, especially in building investor relations, because they're one of the most complicated and complex to build. They require patience, time, and strategy. Often, entrepreneurs and even fund managers, when they start raising capital, they go through the market asking for introductions from the wrong people. As a result, they're not getting introductions, or they're getting introductions to the wrong investors and getting a lot of frustration around it. But all of us know that introductions is number one way to get in front of the right investor and warm up the relationship even before you start talking about your company. In our recent interview with Brian Patrick Cork, he mentioned, don't pitch, build the relationships. And it's not only coming down to building relationships with investors, it also comes down to people who are introducing you to your investors. In our company, we call them connectors. So let's go over several types of connectors. Who are these people and who you should go after first? For today, I would like to identify 4 types of connectors for you. First one, of course, your close circle. People who know you, who trust you, who believe in you, and who want to help you genuinely. Second type is your second and third degree connections. We all know it's usually a very, very long list of people that most of us don't really have a strategy and tactics to work with, but they do exist in our social networks through 1 or 2 handshakes within our existing circle. Third type is other investors who are connected to the investor you want to get in front of. And the fourth type is founders of portfolio companies that the investor you're trying to get in front of invested before. So let's start from scratch. Of course, if somebody in your close circle is connected to your targeted investor, this is the easiest direction and person to go to. Something to keep in mind when you're asking for an introduction to a certain investor is that when you are asking for an introduction, you have to sell your company first to your connector. And it doesn't matter who that connector is, because they will be passing on the information, and obviously when it comes down not from you but from a second person, it loses its density. So the better you describe what are you building and the more tools you will give to your connector, the better they will introduce you to the investor. All right, second type. Second and third degree connections. We often talk with our clients, we actually train them how to work with the second and third degree connections and how to expand this network, engage it, and turn it into your allies. You want to have as many allies as you can. I keep saying that your network is your net worth. But if your network is not engaged, the worth of it is 0. So you want to have a strategy on how to bring people from your second and third degree circles into your first circle. So if you're going on the market with your deal and on a LinkedIn sending an email to somebody who has a connection with your targeted investor and just asking for an intro, don't be surprised if you don't hear anything back. Just put yourself in their shoes. They don't know you, they might not even know the investor that close to whom you want to be introduced. And why should they burn their relationship in order to make an intro for you? So the short advice I can give on this group is provide value, invest in your network. First, before asking for an intro, you want to provide value to this person. And it can be anything as simple as going on their post on LinkedIn and leaving a meaningful comment, and then coming back to them, and instead of asking for an intro, trying to give feedback, trying to give value, and only after that, when there is trust, you can ask if it will be appropriate to ask for an introduction, to make an introduction to the investor you want to get in front of. Something to keep in mind that often these people might not have strong relationships, so sometimes it's worth asking in the beginning, how well do you know this person, and would you be open to an introduction? Third group, investors, other investors. This one is tricky because you have to understand the dynamic between investors. If one investor introducing the deal to another, the question always is, why are you not investing, and if it's such a good deal? I would say that the exclusion from this rule could be if you got really great relationship with the investor who invests, let's say specifically in biotech, and you have a SaaS company that has nothing to do with biotech, but he likes your deal, he vets it on a personal level, right, as a professional within the venture industry. And now they can introduce you to their friend, to their VC or super angel who has a specific focus on SaaS companies. So that could be a good strategy to go after, but again, you need to make sure that you sold your deal to the person that is making an introduction. And the fourth type are the founders of portfolio companies. And I want to split them into two groups. So first one are the founders into whom your targeted investor invested a while ago. And when it comes to them, sometimes after the money been put into the company, relationship can go sour. So you have to keep in mind that not every portfolio company founder is the good connector for you, because they might be not performing well, there might be some conflict between them. So you have to really look into the success of the company within that portfolio for that specific investor. You're probably thinking right now that it's a lot of homework. Yes, it is. But something you have to keep in mind, that if you are trying to raise thousands and sometimes millions of dollars, you have to invest time in people and relationship. I often see how founders overlook the whole fundraising. They think it all comes down to creating a pitch deck and creating a pitch and just pitching around. It's not. It's so much more than that. It's a complex process. It's a complex, unique way to build relationship. And if you don't have a strategy for it, you will be behind, and all you will be seeing are the stories of somebody getting funded overnight and you not understanding how did that happen. But I hope, since you're here, that will be not the case for you, and you will apply the tools we're sharing. So the second type of the founder in a portfolio company that you can go after is the recent portfolio companies that your targeted investor invested in. So the fact that they recently put money in obviously is a great indicator that they're excited about this company right now. They believed in it since they put money in, and they would be your perfect connector. So same as with your second and third degree network, going specifically after the founder and getting in touch, building value, introducing yourself, building trust, selling your deal to them first, and only then asking for introduction is probably the most successful strategy you can use. You should keep in mind that when you will be reaching out to founders, since they went through the process of fundraising themselves, and obviously they don't want to ruin their relationship with the investor they just made a deal with, they will be pretty tough on you. They will be asking questions about traction, they will be asking questions about the deal, and if they don't believe in what you are doing, they won't make an intro. So those are 4 general types of connectors. There is a bonus type that I will mention, is the people who just generally been building a network of investors. They might be brokers, they might be consultants in the industry. Me, my partners, we've been in Silicon Valley and startup ecosystem for the past 10 years. So obviously we've built a lot of beautiful relationships. But something also to keep in mind is I should have a reason to make an introduction for you. And if you are not willing to invest in relationship with me, why should I invest relationship with you? It's not really personal, it's more the art and science of crafting relationship. So I would love to inspire you to go and become thoughtful and strategic in building your investor relations. The earlier you do it, the bigger and higher quality your investment network will be. And in our company, we're happy to work with entrepreneurs and venture fund managers who want to build transparent, systematic approach in building investor relations. I hope this video was useful. If it was, let me know in the comments below or give us a like. That is very important for us, knowing that we can provide value for you and we're cheering for you. I know fundraising is tough, but you can get through it if you get a little bit more patience and start applying tools. It was Anastasia Revado, and I see you soon.